It started as a typical Sunday afternoon, with the faint hum of the coffee machine in the background and the smell of cinnamon rolls filling the kitchen. The house was quiet, save for the occasional rustle of the newspaper or the soft murmur of a television in the next room. Life, it seemed, was moving along in its usual, predictable rhythm. But then the news came. Georgie and Mandy, two of the closest people in my life, were married, and I wasn't invited to the wedding. That's right. My best friend Georgie and her longtime partner, Mandy, had tied the knot in a small ceremony, and I had no idea. To make it worse, it wasn't just the fact that I had been left out of something so important. It was the timing of the revelation. They didn't tell me directly. No, it came from a completely different source. Connie, my seemingly grounded and always pragmatic sister-in-law, had been the one to spill the beans. She had started a new job at a high-profile marketing firm just a week ago, and now she couldn't seem to stop talking about it. The conversation turned to Georgie and Mandy, and that's when the bombshell dropped. "Did you know that Georgie and Mandy got married last month?" Connie asked, casually scrolling through her phone. I froze, the cup of tea trembling slightly in my hand. What? No, no one told me. My heart raced in my chest, but I tried to keep my voice even. Connie looked at me with those wide, innocent eyes she had perfected over the years, the kind that made her appear like the perfect blend of sweet and oblivious. "Oh, well, I thought you knew." Georgie and Mandy were all over social media about it, and I just assumed. Social media. I interrupted, my voice a little too sharp. No, I didn't see anything. A knot twisted in my stomach. Georgie, my best friend for the better part of a decade, had gotten married to the woman she'd been in love with for years, and I had to hear about it from Connie. I wasn't angry at Mandy. Never at her. She was kind, generous, and one of the most wonderful people I knew. But Georgie, she and I had always shared everything. We'd celebrated birthdays together, shared late-night talks about our dreams, fears, and even the most trivial things. We'd been through thick and thin. How could she not tell me? How could I have been so out of the loop? But the more I thought about it, the more I realized that this revelation was just the beginning of a series of worries that had been swirling around me for months. First, there was Connie. She had been so excited about her new job, and her energy was infectious. But lately, there was something unsettling about it. It wasn't the job itself. After all, she had worked hard to land this position at one of the most prestigious marketing firms in the city. But there was a strange detachment in her tone whenever she spoke about it. And worse, it seemed as though the more she excelled in her career, the more distant she became from the people who had always been closest to her. When she first started at the firm, she couldn't stop talking about the team dynamics, the new challenges, the amazing perks. But as the weeks went by, she started to mention her colleagues more than her family. She talked about dinners with clients, late nights in the office, and her new work best friend, a woman named Olivia who seemed to be the center of her universe. At first, I brushed it off. Connie had always been a career-oriented person, and I understood that this job was a huge opportunity for her. But as her focus shifted entirely to her new role, I began to feel a sense of unease. She started missing family gatherings, small ones, nothing extravagant. But still, she had never been one to skip those. And when she did attend, she seemed preoccupied, constantly checking her phone or talking about the projects she was managing at work. She never used to be like this. She used to be the one who could balance everything: the demanding job, the family obligations, the personal life. But now it felt like we were losing her bit by bit. I couldn't help but wonder, was this the price of success? Was it that she was finally climbing the career ladder, and in doing so, leaving everything else behind? The worst part was that I didn't know how to approach her about it. I didn't want to sound like I was being overbearing or accusatory. After all, it was her life, her choices, her success. But I couldn't help but feel like something was slipping away from me, like we were drifting, slowly but surely, into different worlds. And then there was Georgie and Mandy, the wedding, the secrecy, the sudden feeling that I was on the outside of something that was supposed to matter to me. I knew that people's relationships evolve, that love stories change, and that milestones are reached in different ways. But I also knew that I wasn't ready for this kind of change.